What's going on, everyone? It's the People's Envoy Updog here, and today we have some big information on this guy right here, Professor X. We are going to go over what it's going to take to unlock him and find out all about that. So if you're ready to go, let's get into it here. So on the 7th of March, they had the usual Friday blog and mentioned that Gear Tier 20 is coming. And if you've been playing this game long enough, you probably already knew or suspected that Gear Tier 20 would be required to unlock Professor X. And we also knew that Lalandra was going to be required for unlocking him. But that's all we knew. Originally, I think they planned on doing a Dark Dimension for Professor X. Then looks like they might have changed their minds a little bit. So getting into Professor X, there's going to be 4 boss characters to get through to unlock him. And so we're going to have Nimrod, we're going to have Gladiator, Shadow King boss, and Dark Xavier, which is going to be interesting. I haven't had a chance to look up online to do any research to see if this is an actual character that's been in the comics. So if you know about Dark Xavier from the comics, make sure to let me know, because I always like hearing directly from the mouths of people about their comic knowledge and what they experienced reading comics. So if Dark Xavier has been in the comics, please let me know. I'd love to hear a story about him from your perspective. So that would be great. And so yeah, it's going to be kind of like Null, like the Battle World boss. Going to be a huge boss to get through, it looks like. It does say that the characters are going to be a little bit different than what you're expecting, so probably Null's the same kind of way. Like, the Battle World boss Null is going to be different from the playable version, what we're going to get. So, that's kind of cool. I like that. There's going to be 3 different difficulties. There's going to be hard, heroic, and extreme. So, you start out at Gear Tier 17 with the hard mode, and then go up from there, 18, 19, 20. So going to be a lot of missions, it looks like. So there's going to be missions. You have to 3-star them, as it says right here. And then you'll face that boss. You'll face the boss at the end of the section, I guess. So here's the table of the different requirements for each difficulty and for each boss character, I guess you want to call it. So starts off with Gear Tier 17, like I mentioned. Then we go to 18, 19 for Nimrod. You're going to need 19. Oh, it does list the number of missions. So for the full Nimrod section, looks like 14 missions. I guess it's 14 all the way up until you get to Dark Xavier. You have 16. So pretty interesting there. Now for Nimrod, you don't need there's no restrictions. That's kind of nice. However, you will not get, for the Apoc saga or for other Dark Dimensions, you were able to unlock that character at a lower star level. So I think it was 5 yellow, 2 red, or something like that. Well, you have to complete all the missions to unlock Xavier, and he's a 7-star unlock. So that's going to be the kicker. You're going to have to get through all of these sections here to unlock him. You can't get a partial unlock. That part I'm not as big of a fan of, but I can understand why they're doing it that way. So we have, for Gladiator, we have a city section. He's going to be all city characters. Shadow King, we have global, and then we have it broken out to villain global and hero global. And then for Dark Xavier, we have cosmic, we have a villain cosmic, and hero cosmic. Well, and then Lalandra, of course, she's a hero cosmic, but she's definitely going to be required. So that's all of the big details, the high level details. Let's go into the specific traits here and see what kind of characters we should focus on. Now, it doesn't say we cannot use legendaries, so this makes it a little bit interesting. I think personally, right now, just right off the bat here, we might want to consider like a Sinister Six type team, because we could do Doc, we could do Goblin. It would be a lot of tech gear if you did Vulture as well, and then if you did Craven and maybe even Mysterio, because he's got a lot of control. It'll all depend on the enemies on the nodes, but this is the way too soon type recommendations before we know what is going to be on the nodes. Before you invest any gear, I would definitely wait to see who is going, like what enemies are going to be in those missions. But right now it's looking like probably like a Sinister Six team for me anyway would be the way to go, or you could do like a mix match of Blade and Oath, maybe Black Cat in there. Other than that, I don't know. I don't know if I want to recommend Hive Mind because, well, first of all, most of Hive Mind is City, but Void Knight is Cosmic. But a hybrid with Blade and Oath and Black Cat, that'd be kind of weird, because who you gonna do for the other two? It's like there's not any good other options really. Now the rumor that I've seen around on Discord about the next team, there might be a couple of City characters in that team. So again, it might be worth it to wait and see like what their kits are going to be and see how they can maybe fit in with some of these other characters. But without seeing the enemies, I think Sinister Six team would probably be the best bet. So that'll get us all the way through the Gladiator section, I guess, the Gladiator boss, if we do the City team. And then Shadow King has got variations of Global, so let's go see what we got for... Oops. So let's go see what we got for Global here. So the first part, the hard difficulty for Shadow King is just Global. So, and that's only Gear 19 required. So, if you're an endgame player, you should have enough global characters to get through that section. So you could probably do like an Orcus with like APOC or something to get through that Gear 19 section. Then we split off into heroes and villains. So, first up is villains. Villain Global. I mean, the one that screams out to me is going to be, again, Orcus APOC. That'd probably be the safe bet. Right towards at the beginning of this. If you're watching this, let's say like, I don't know, July or September of 2025, then there might be other characters that'd be worth taking. But as of right now in March 2025, I would say for the global villain, probably Orcus with APOC. Again, without seeing the enemies. And then hero, global. Got quite a few choices. You could maybe do like a Black Knight with maybe an X-Men team, like Storm and Beast. Maybe Emma Frost. You could also do, let's see, there's Liberty in here, I believe. So like Cap Sam. Oh yeah, and we also have Old Man Logan. We can use legendaries, so this is a little bit different, but yeah, maybe like an X-Men team with Old Man Logan. That would probably be good. Maybe Nightcrawler, Black Knight, Old Man Logan. Maybe Emma, Phoenix too. Those would all be good choices for Hero Global. So that would get us through Shadow King. Now those Villain Global and Hero Global, those would need to be Gear Tier 20. And then for the last section, Dark Xavier, the kind of like Shadow King, well actually like all of the bosses before him, Gear Tier 19 is going to be the first section on the hard mode. And so let's go take a look at the broad cosmic trait here. I think for sure Odin, Mephisto is definitely two you want to do. Depending on the characters, maybe Kahori. We've got Thanos, Gladiator, Gore. Those are all good ones. We've got Shadow King, who's going to be probably one you want to take. Obviously, we know Lalandra is going to be required, so that would be for the general cosmic section. Now, I did cover both heroes and villains. Villains is the next up for the heroic difficulty, the middle difficulty. So yeah, like maybe these four here with Shadow King. That might not be too bad. We got Super Skrull. I don't know about Kang. Dorm, maybe, depending on the villain, or the, not the villains, the enemies. But other than that, for Villain Cosmic, it's pretty bare bones, I guess, as far as options. So, now Skrull, I believe, is pretty expensive for gear, so he might be one you want to skip. All of these, Mephisto is actually kind of expensive too, but the 3 Annihilators are going to be about mid-level investment, and Shadow King too. Ultimus is kind of expensive. Kang, I think he's about the same as Annihilator, so that might be worth it. Dorm, I know he is expensive as well, and so is Hela. So about resource management, so make sure you keep an eye on how many uniques you're going to need, and centerpiece uniques, and origin gear as well. And then let's go look at the heroes real quick. Alright, so for Cosmic Heroes, Odin's definitely going to be one you want to take. You could do Kahori and Miss Marvel Classic, because Kahori will give her charges, so she will taunt. So that way you can get Odin up and running with his mechanics, his battlefield effect, and everything like that. Doctor Strange could be a good choice. I know he's pretty cheap. Miss Marvel and Kahori are going to be mid-level investment as well. And it's kind of tough too. Lalandra's going to be there, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That could be a choice. You got some Mystic here, actually 3 Mystics. I think Odin, I think he's actually a mid-level investment too. I don't think he's as expensive as Mephisto, if I remember right. So that'd be what, 3 Mystics plus Lalandra, and Miss Marvel is bio here. So might be a heavy Mystic, at least in the Hero Cosmic section. Villain Cosmic, that one is, if you do go with Annihilators, that's a decent spread across the origins. Then, of course, the global one, you're probably going to need a lot of mutant gear or tech gear. City might be a lot of tech gear, depending on who you take. So, like I said, make sure you keep in mind the mini uniques that you need, the centerpiece uniques. So when I say centerpiece uniques, I mean these right here. The Uru or alien spores, whatever the case may be, that's the centerpiece unique. And then the mini uniques, they're not going to be these here, but they are going to be, they're going to look different, because if you have a Gear 19 character, right now it's not showing up, but once they roll out the Gear 20, it's going to have the gear icons all around the side, and you'll be able to see the mini uniques, but it's going to be the the right hand side over here of the gear piece, and it'll have the mini uniques there. Now hopefully they're going to have the website updated. Usually it takes them like a week or two after the new gear tier comes out, but it looks like they have updated it. They have worked on it a little bit, it looks like. But hopefully they have this updated. Right now they have up through DD8. Hopefully they will put like a Gear 20 or Professor X type thing in here, so we can see how much gear we're going to need for that. But if they don't and you want to get a head start, you can just go to your roster here, click on your character. This should be updated before the planner gets updated. So you'll be able to see how many origin gear, uniques, centerpiece uniques you're going to need for each individual character. So that's about the only two ways you're going to be able to figure that out. But hope that was helpful for you. Hope you guys are excited. I know I am. I've been kind of trying to hoard as much gear as possible to get ready for this. I would definitely suggest building up your centerpiece uniques as much as you can and your origin gear. I've put a target for myself about 80 centerpiece uniques for each one, I guess. So that's kind of my goal. Looking forward to getting Professor X and getting my hands on him and getting him in my roster. So make sure you spend those resources wisely, everyone, and we will see you around.